In this video we're going to look at basic addition polymerization. So we're going to focus on ethene making polythene, and we're going to look at styrene and vinyl chloride making polystyrene and polyvinyl chloride. So first of all, let's just focus on how we make these polymers. So you start with a monomer. If we just draw ethene for a second, we start with the ethene monomer, and ethenes would come together, and more would come together, and they would form a polymer. And I've shown wiggly bonds on the end here just to show that they would keep then bonding. As many monomers as you add would potentially add onto that polymer chain, and this makes a long chain molecule. Now, in order to simplify that, what we actually do is we just show the single, what we call the repeating unit. So this is the repeating unit for polyethene. Okay, and we have that n number of times if we have n numbers of the monomers. So we have n lots of ethene monomer making this polymer, okay, and we call that the repeating unit. Okay, and we call the unreacted version the monomer. Okay, so the repeating unit shows the polymer formation. The same can happen with polypropene. So if we look at propene, propene has a carbon double bond carbon, and then a single bond there. So this is our monomer, and what we need to do first of all is identify which carbons are involved in bonding. So the carbon is always the one that's in the double bond. So this is carbon 1 and this is carbon 2, and these are the two that get involved in bonding. And so when we draw our polymer repeating unit, okay, one of these is carbon number 1 and one of these is carbon number 2. And so we need to remember that there's a methyl group, CH3 group, coming off of one of these carbons, which we've shown as coming off number 2. And on the other side, there's a hydrogen. And on this one, there's 2 hydrogens. And now we're ready to draw the brackets. Bond out that way. And that's n number. So if we have n of the monomer, so this is the monomer, and this is the polymer. Okay, and the repeating unit is what's inside the brackets there. So let's have a look at some examples. Now they call these addition polymerization because all we have to do is simply add them together. So this is where you put ethene together to make polyethene, and you can see it being made there. Here we've got styrenes getting added together, so you can see that 2 styrenes would bond, and the benzene ring that's hanging off the end would just stay as it is as a side chain, and you form polystyrene. And then lastly you've got polyvinyl chloride, which is PVC, and that again, the carbons bond to each other but the chlorine stays as a side chain, and this is actually now a polar side chain, which we're going to look at in a later video.